Sharon writes music, I write music, our keyboard player and our producer Daniel Gibson. So we always mix up our ideas. So that always goes quite natural. And it was not really like a big change because we started writing the music first. That's always what we do. And then in the end, when you know we had the storyline, we started like
finalizing our lyrics.
Finalizing the lyrics and seeing what fits to what part of the story and which character, you know, and that worked quite well.
And we had the feeling with the Heart of Everything we had really reached the best sound for this kind of style that we were presenting in the scene, and we couldn't do any better. So what we felt like was we really felt like there was a time for a new step for us musically also, and we just let go of all musical boundaries. And maybe normally when we would have heard that there are some 80s influences there, we would have stopped and say, oh no, that's not us, you know. We had a very clear goal in the past, and now it's just, okay, let's see where it goes. And we were more free, and it felt much better and easier to work also, and also a little bit scary, and we just let it in, and it just worked out very well. Although, like you said, they're very different, the songs and the influences, because in the 80s you had so many different kind of bands, and also the influences that you might hear on this album go from metal, but also rock, but also pop elements here and there.
And we've also chosen like some new tempos to write in, you know, it's in general a bit more up-tempo, and that also gave a whole new type of song, and felt really, really fresh to us. And I think we decided to go in it in the way we did. It didn't limit ourselves in any way, you know. It just gave like more possibilities. So The Unforgiving is actually the title which works in two ways. You know, The Unforgiving is a group of people who get resurrected after dying, and who are hunting like killers, you know, like real crooked, evil
serial
killers.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you know, they repay for the sins they have committed in their life, because they are killers themselves as well. So that's one part of the name, you know, is that they're really ruthless. But on the other hand, is they are also unforgiving towards themselves, and that's because you know, they feel guilty about what they have done in their lives, and they just can't forgive themselves. So that's how it works both ways, actually.
Well, I think that the thing that most people like, maybe for instance towards Marvel kind of stories, which this has of course a little bit some references of, I think, is like that people would like to have that special power to change things, because sometimes a lot of things might feel very how do you say it, that justice has not been done, and that you would like to be somebody like that, you know, like with a little bit more power than the rest, and just change things for the better. And it's nice to to dream.
That you can take things in your own hand.
Yeah,
definitely. And but I think also the key with this story, and that's what appeals to us, is that there are several layers in there, and it's not really only about good and evil, but that there's in every life, you know, it can go different ways in different circumstances, and the idea that after your life you can have a new chance, you know, to set things straight, you know, that's of course also an interesting thought, you know. It's sometimes also you have in reincarnation, people who believe in that's also something, and that's also an intriguing thing, like what happens anyway after life, and then there's also coming in, you know, religion, like you know, that's also a fascinating subject always, and then we're also crazy about, you know, a bit supernatural elements, you know, is there more to life, you know, than
we can see,
and what if, you know, you could do something special. I think in general we have a problem in doing the same thing again, you know. For us it's very important to find a challenge for ourselves, you know, to see where we can get things, you know, and that's I think one of our main inspirations. And it's also with music and also when writing songs. The best thing is when we write something, we have the feeling like that we write it, that you almost have the feeling that you didn't write it yourself, you know, and that's always the, I think, also feeling we're searching for.
Yeah.
And that's a surprising element, you know, a surprise of creating a song which
you never thought you could write, or in a totally different direction, or more in a different direction that you have ever done before.
And I think as far as stories goes, it's definitely that we get always inspired, especially lyric-wise, and also, you know, imaginary-wise, about stories of people. That because stories can touch you and does something with you emotionally. So that's definitely important.
Well, we have of course now a new website. We changed that because we felt like the previous website that we had was very limiting. It just tells you when a new album comes out, new single comes out, the lyrics. But most fans already know that, you know. And so it's more an information platform for people who don't know you yet. And we felt like it would be so much cooler that you have like a website where they can see a little bit more about the band and what kind of bands interest us. Also other issues, maybe fashion, maybe hobbies like racing, like Robert does, and have a little bit more interaction like that as well. But also let them be a reporter for us and let them make small movies, like, you know, with YouTube and everything. The possibilities are endless actually, and we're still actually exploring all new possibilities we can do for this new website.
Stimulating interaction, you know, with them. Among each other, the fans, you know, it's like, for example, also with tours that they can post, you know, their reports of the tours, and they can also see who's going there, but also on the articles that everybody can react on that, and that makes it just way more interesting.
And also a reason for people to come back every time, and you know, it's like, oh, what else is happening now on the site, and not only with us, but also with the fans themselves when they have some special item that they are, you know, posting on constantly.
Yeah, some things just have to go by themselves, and this was such a huge project, you know, and yeah, afterwards we're also quite amazed, you know, that we pulled it off, and of course also with a lot of other people. Yeah, you know, we go from here, you know, but it's obviously clear, because we're very happy about it, that we're definitely see more possibilities for the future, that's for sure.
Well, we're gonna integrate, of course, the videos that the short movies we made, and also somehow the comic also. But we learned a lot also from our theater show, because we worked with a lot of 3D animation and illusions. And we're not sure yet how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do something with that probably also on stage, and try to make it again a surprising show.
Yeah, and really bring the story to the stage, you know, because that's also one of the big reasons of us also making this movie, you know, that we could really take it a step further again.
I think every time it is different. So always, you see also a lot of times that there are new countries added to your touring schedule, and it's always like exploring new cultures and stuff like that. You know, of course, when you're within Europe, that the cultural differences are not that big. But when you go to Japan, you're like, wow, this is really a different world, and you just it feels like an extra, and it's really cool. And also when you or even just go to different kind of clubs or different places to play at, because that always changes also, you know, the further you go, and that's also every time a new surprise. It's nice to do new things. That's the base of that kind of feeling actually. Well, you see that certain countries are more passionate, you know, like or more expressive, because I think most of our fans are passionate, but it's more like when the more northern countries are more, you know, like more waiting, but you know, with a smile and just there, you know. But if you go to Italy, or you go to Southern America, or you go to Japan, where they come in their suits, and then when they're free, and you know, they come afterwards and they're changing on the parking place, or go in their suits anyway inside, and then they just they just change on the spot, you know, they go crazy. It's like, and like in Mexico, people were driving with cars behind us with, you know, cabs, like trying to follow the bus and stuff like that. You know, it's not a thing that you have in Holland, because people are more Calvinistic, I think, more down to earth, and maybe also in Germany more.
I think it's always, you know, when you have children, you have to plan a lot of things. I mean, that's what every parent has to do, and that's the same with us. And of course, it's challenging at times, but luckily we have family we can rely on. Grandparents are extremely important, and I see that also on other parents, that it gets more important these days. So you do, but you know, we also don't want to miss it. You know, we wouldn't give it up. You know, like we wouldn't want to give up our music and also not the family life. So we think that the combination is just the ultimate, actually.
Well, we're just gonna, you know, we have a little bit more time now, so we can develop now. Have more time to develop our live show, so that's something we're looking forward to. And yeah, for the moment, of course, we're just promoting the album, and afterwards, the tour, when the touring starts, it just feels like it will never end, because it's going to be so many dates. But we're looking forward to it, because we haven't been on stage, of course, for a long time. So.
Well, yeah, it starts end of July, you know, like festivals.
Yeah.
August,
I think we start with one of the
yeah. And then in September, I think we also do a date in New York as well, and tour. European tour starts in
in September.
September also, October, November.
Until end of November.
End of November, but I'm sure before we're at the summer, there's going to be more already.
Yeah.